Dry by Neal Shusterman. First of all, I love this book. The plot follows our main characters, 16-year-old Alyssa and her 10-year-old brother Garrett. Everything seems normal at first, just a California drought. But one day, their tap water turns off. No warning, no news announcement, just turns off. They called it the tap out. Now, what would you do in this situation? Would you run out to get bottled water? Would you just sit there in denial? Would you insist the government will come to your rescue? Alyssa's parents and uncle did the first one. They rushed out to buy water, but there's barely anything left. I'm sure no one can relate to that at all. Anyways, this book brings unique takes on how an apocalypse scenario would play out, and it's actually really realistic. First, there's the mob mentality. Ordinary people get sucked into a mob of angry people, desperate for resources, and they get turned into monsters. Next, there's the entitled people. They get lulled into a false sense of security because they seemingly have everything they need. In the book, Alyssa's uncle goes to his girlfriend's neighborhood, who still has water in an old tank. But when Alyssa finds them, they're all sick from the contaminated water. Third, you have the preppers. Alyssa's friend, Kelton, is a prepper. They have fortified house, all the water they could need, and they're not like the entitled people because they actually do have those resources, but those things paint a bright red bullseye on them. Kelton's house gets raided by neighbors, and Kelton's brother Brady gets shot in the chaos. Fourth, there's the predators, those who take advantage of a situation. The book talks about a man luring young girls into his van with the promise of water, a boy who takes everything from someone in exchange for a bottle of water, and men in the woods preying on young kids looking for the reservoir. Fifth, there's the heroes, the people who take it upon themselves to help other people during the crisis. In the book, a woman named Charity starts a highway commune where they take water from abandoned cars and give it to those most in need. She's called the Water Angel, and her only reason for helping is to simply help everyone else survive. Last, there's the people who just want to survive. They do things they normally wouldn't, like steal from an old woman and leave her to die in a fire, or shoot a man about to assault them. Alyssa falls into that category, and she did both those things. She normally was against guns, but in an act of desperation, she was willing to shoot her brother to spare him the agony of dying in a wildfire. Shusterman provides really interesting commentary on human nature through these actions. He's saying humans will do anything to protect themselves and loved ones in a crisis, no matter how civilized we may seem. Of course, it's not entirely black and white. Humans are complicated, and that shows in the book. He makes a variety of characters and shows the range of emotions they feel during the crisis. He shows snapshots of desperation, compassion, evil, and helplessness. And that's what I think everyone should take away from this book, that us as humans are complicated and never perfect or predictable. My favorite quote from this book is, "There's a moment when you realize your parents aren't superheroes or villains. They're painfully, unforgivably human. The question is, can you forgive them for being human anyways?" It's not just parents, it's everyone. Some of us forget that our friends, teachers, and family are human too, with complex emotions. And that's why I love this book, because it shows in such a raw way how intricate humans are.